Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to discuss chapter 11, Transportation in Animals and Plants. Let's warm up. Look at the following pictures and observe how transportation is happening in these things. Talk about these. So student, look at these pictures and you have to talk about these pictures in your class. Let's know about transport in humans, circulatory system, transportation in plants. So students, these are the two topics we are going to discuss in our chapter. The first we have introduction. We know that all organisms require food, oxygen, water and other substances for their survival. Every living organism is made up of cells that need energy to do their respective functions. Thus food, water and other substances need to reach every cell of a living organism to provide energy. The waste product produced during various life processes like digestion and respiration too need to be removed from the body for it to be able to perform well. So student, आप सबको पता है हर एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म को एनर्जी की नीड होती है. वो एनर्जी उसको कहाँ से मिलती है? खाने से मिलती है. अब जब हम खाना खाते हैं तो हमारी बॉडी में कुछ वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट भी प्रोड्यूस होते हैं जिनका बॉडी से रिमूव होना भी जरूरी होता है. Now we are going to discuss our topics. The first we have transport in humans, circulatory system. In human beings, digested food, water, oxygen and waste materials are carried around the body by blood. Blood flows through a network of tubes which are called blood vessels. Blood is pumped to every part of the body by the heart. The heart has an extensive network of blood vessels that spreads in the entire body and the blood which transport various materials together. From the circulatory system, thus the human circulatory system consists of blood vessels and the heart. Look here student, this is human circulatory system. Now we have the blood is the main transport medium in human body. It is fluid, connective tissue and has the following function. First, white blood cells, WBCs, these are also called leukocytes. White blood cells protect the body from disease-causing organisms and fight infections. Second, red blood cells, RBCs. Red blood cells are red in color due to the presence of red pigment called hemoglobin inside them. These are also called erythrocytes. So students, जो हमारा ब्लड है उसमें दो टाइप की सेल्स होती हैं, रेड ब्लड सेल्स, व्हाइट ब्लड सेल्स. रेड ब्लड सेल्स की वजह से ही हमारे ब्लड का जो कलर है वो रेड होता है बिकॉज रेड ब्लड सेल्स में एक रेड पिगमेंट प्रेजेंट होता है, दैट इज हीमोग्लोबिन. और अगर हम अपने ह्यूमन सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम की बात करें तो उसमें क्या कंसिस्ट करता है, वो ब्लड वेसल्स और हार्ट. सो हमारे ब्लड वेसल्स में ब्लड जो है वो फ्लो करता है और ब्लड एक कनेक्टिव टिश्यू है और उसके थ्रू वो बहुत सारी चीजों को हमारी बॉडी में ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है. नाउ वी हैव chief function of RBCs is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. For this function, red blood cells contain the pigment hemoglobin which combines with oxygen to give oxyhemoglobin. The average red blood cells only last for about 120 days because it lacks nucleus and other organelles need to maintain the cell. So students, RBC का life span 120 days होता है. Now look here, we have circulation. Look at this picture. This is our circulatory system. Here is heart and the connection of blood cells. This is a schematic diagram of circulation. Now we have check and mate as we already read about these things. So you have to do it by yourself. Heart. The heart is a small muscular organ which is responsible for pumping the blood. The human heart has four chambers, namely the right auricle, the right ventricle, the left auricle and the left ventricle. The upper chambers are called auricle or atrium. The lower chambers are called ventricle. The following flow chart shows the movement of blood through the heart. The blue color shows deoxygenated blood or the venous circulation and the red color shows oxygenated blood or the arterial circulation. From the body, right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, lungs, pulmonary vein, left atrium, left ventricle to the body. So student, this is a flow chart and flow of blood in our body. Look at this picture, movement of blood through the heart. So students, in this picture you can understand how our blood move in our body. Now do you know the volume of blood in human about in 4 to 5 liters? So student, this is the volume of human blood. Look here students, we have an activity 1. Take a small funnel of 6 to 7 centimeter in diameter. Fix a rubber tube 50 centimeter long tightly on the stem of the funnel. Stretch a rubber seat or a balloon on the mouth of the funnel and fix tightly with rubber band. Put the open end of the tube on the one of your ears. Place the mouth of the funnel in your chest near the heart. Now try to listen carefully. What do you hear? So students, you can perform this activity in the guidance of your teacher. Now we have heartbeat and heart sounds. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of auricles and ventricles is called heartbeat. So student, ये क्या है? Contraction and relaxation of auricles and ventricles. So that is our heartbeat. Human heart beats about 72 times per minute. The heartbeat can be heard as lub and dub sounds. The sound of heartbeat is caused by contraction of heart muscles and shutting down of cuspid valves, lub sound, and semilunar valves, dub sound. So student, आपका जो heart है that produce the sound of lub dub, and lub sound cuspid valves की वजह से होता है and dub sound semilunar valves की वजह से होता है. Get it, students? Look at this picture. We have sections of human heart. Now we are going to read about transpiration. Transpiration is the process of water loss from the stomata. Plural for stoma or leaf opening in plant leaves. It also occurs in flowers, stems and roots. It is similar to evaporation. During transpiration, water vapor is released and carbon dioxide is taken by the leaves. During night, in the absence of sunlight, the transpiration stops. In addition, the plants detect when too much water is lost. To prevent further water loss, the stomata clause effectively shutting down transpiration. Look at this picture. It is transpiration. So student, अगर हम बात करें तो transpiration plants में होता है. Plants stomata के through water loss करते हैं. ये process सिर्फ दिन में होता है. So that's अब थिंक कि ट्रांसपिरेशन किस में हो रहा है? प्लांट्स में हो रहा है. स्टूडेंट, किसकी हेल्प से होता है? स्टोमेटा की हेल्प से होता है. ठीक है. और कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, जब ऐसा होता है कि वाटर बहुत ज्यादा लॉस हो जाता है प्लांट का, तो स्टोमेटा की ओपनिंग जो है वो क्लोज हो जाती है और ट्रांसपिरेशन बंद हो जाता है. नाउ वी हैव एक्सक्रीशन. In all living organisms, various activities continue to take place inside the body. These activities are collectively known as metabolism. Many harmful substances are created during metabolic activity. These substances can prove lethal if not removed from the body in time. The process of removal waste from the body is known as excretion. So student, excretion क्या है? जो हम लोग या हमारी बॉडी से जो वेस्ट को रिमूव किया जाता है या होता है, that is excretion. Here, do you know? The English physician William Harvey discovered the circulation of blood. Here we have excretory system in humans. The human excretory system is composed of a pair of kidneys, two tubes called ureter, and a urinary bladder. Here we have kidney. Kidneys are bean-shaped structure which works like filters. When blood containing waste materials enters the kidney, the waste is filtered from the blood and the purified blood is sent for the normal circulation. The waste along with water is transferred to the urinary bladder through the ureters. It is called urine. Urine contains 95% water, 2.5% urea and 2.5% other wastes. Look at this picture, students. We have human excretory system. Urine is expelled out from time to time in normal human beings during the course of day. That means 24 hours we passes about 1 to 1.8 liter of urine. So students, किडनी क्या करती है? किडनी जो है वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट, जो वाटर टाइप वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट होता है, उसको क्या करते हैं? फिल्टर करती है, ब्लड को सर्कुलेशन के लिए भेज देती है और फिल्टर करती है वेस्ट को, वो यूरिन की फॉर्म में हमारी बॉडी से बाहर आता है. नाउ वी हैव टाइप ऑफ वेस्ट एंड मोड ऑफ excretion. Proteins contain nitrogen. Metabolism of proteins create nitrogenous waste in the body. The nitrogenous waste is the main waste in animals. This waste takes different forms in different animals. These are ammonia, urea and uric acid. Based on the type of nitrogenous waste, the animals can be divided into following categories. So students, प्रोटीन जो है वो नाइट्रोजन से बना है, आप सबको पता है. सो प्रोटीन का जो मेटाबॉलिज्म होता है उसके बाद हमारे पास नाइट्रोजीनियस वेस्ट बनते हैं लाइक यूरिक एसिड, यूरिया. अब हर एक एनिमल में डिफरेंट टाइप का वेस्ट बनता है और इस बिहाफ पे हम एनिमल को कैटेगराइज करते हैं. द फर्स्ट वी हैव एमानोलिक. Ammonia is the main nitrogenous waste in these animals. Lot of water is required for removal of ammonia. Ammonialism is present in aquatic animals, example fish, frogs, etc. तो स्टूडेंट जिन एनिमल्स में जो नाइट्रोजीनियस वेस्ट है वो अमोनिया की फॉर्म में होता है और ये मोस्ट ऑफ द एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स में होता है. देन वी हैव प्यूरलिक. Urea is the main nitrogenous waste in these animals. Less water is required for removal of urea. Urialism is present in mammals. Then we have urocalin. Uric acid is the main nitrogenous waste in these animals. Removal of uric acid requires negligible amount of water. Uricalism is present in reptiles and birds. Some of the waste materials are removed along with sweat. Carbon dioxide is an important waste which is removed through the lungs. Now we have transportation in plants. These are two main tissues, namely xylem and phylum, for the process of transportation in plants. These are composed of narrow tube-like structures. Xylem is responsible for transport of water, while phylum is responsible for transport of food. So student, अब हम किस में रीड कर रहे हैं? ट्रांसपोर्टेशन प्लांट्स में. और अगर हम ट्रांसपोर्टेशन प्लांट्स में बात करें तो दो टिश्यूज होते हैं, xylem एंड phylum. Xylem responsible होता है ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ वाटर के लिए और phylum responsible होता है ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ फूड. Now student, look at these pictures. We have a section of root showing movement of water and mineral. Plants take water from the soil. Following are the main steps in transport of water in plants. From soil, the water enters the root hairs by the process of osmosis. From root hairs, water moves to xylem. Various factors are responsible for the transportation of water through xylem in stems. The transport of water through xylem is known as ascent of sap. The process of movement of water includes the following steps. So students, क्या होता है कि जो root hair होते हैं वो water को absorb करते हैं soil से, उसके बाद वो xylem के through क्या होता है? Transport होता है. इसको हम बोलते हैं ascent of sap. Here we have some steps. Root pressure is responsible for the rise of water to some heights. Capillary action pushes the water further up. The rise of liquid for very narrow tube is known as capillary action. Capillary action happens because of very small diameter of the tube. So student, this is the steps. Then we have adhesion, cohesion. Water molecules stick to each other and makes a continuous column inside the xylem tubes. Then we have transpiration pull. These are numerous small pores on the surface of leaves. These pores are called stomata. Water vapor is continuously removed through stomata during daytime. Removal of water from leaves in plants is known as transpiration. This creates a pull in the underlying xylem tissue. This pull is called transpiration pull. Transpiration pulls create a suction effects on the water column inside the xylem. Food prepared in the leaves needs to be transported to different plant parts for use and storage. The transport of food takes place through phylum. It contains cells called CV tubes which transfer food from one part of plant to another. The food is transported in solution form which is called phylum sap. Phylum sap moves from a sugar source leaves to a sugar sink, a part where food can be stored, like roots. The process is known as translocation. Translocation involves diffusion and osmosis. Students, look at this picture. We have flow chart showing the movement of water from soil to the stomata through transpiration. So students, आप सबको समझ आया कि xylem की help से water transport होता है, phylum की help से food transport होता है. What we learn in this chapter, now we are going to discuss it in a nutshell. All living organisms need a transport system to supply them with food, water, oxygen, etc. Blood flows through a network of tubes which are called vessels. The blood is the main transport medium in human body. The heart is a small muscular organ responsible for pumping of blood. The upper chambers of the heart are called auricles and the lower chambers are called ventricles. Here we have some keywords. Artery, any of the muscular wall tubes forming part of the circulatory system. Blood vessels, a tabular structure carrying the blood through the tissues and organs. Excretion, the process of expelling waste matter. So students, these are some keywords of this chapter. Thank you students. We will meet again in the next chapter. Till then, revise what we learned today.